Welcome back to my attempt at reading 30 books in 31 days. It's the 11th of July. It's Monday. And I did finish one book over the weekend. I'm desperately behind, but I haven't lost faith yet. I've read 6 books so far this month, which means I'm technically 5 books behind where I'm supposed to be. 4 or 5. But that's okay. I did finish The People We Meet on Vacation. This is actually, I'm not going to talk a ton about this because I'm doing a whole dedicated Emily Henry vlog where I'm going to talk about my thoughts on People We Meet on Vacation, but I loved it. So, and then I started Juniper and Thorn by Ava Reed. I'm not very far into it. I was just having like a really difficult time focusing on reading this weekend. Was doing a bad job. Hopefully we'll finish that shortly. I've also started a couple other things. The new Alex Finley book, I'll put it here. It's about these, again, not very far into it. So far what has happened is there's this murder at like a Blockbuster, at like a video store, in which someone sneaks in and like kills everyone except one person, and now there's a similar murder happening like 15 years in the future. I think our main girl is the only survivor from the first one. I think. Again, not far into that one. Anything else? I've like started several things. Started a couple Kindle Unlimited books. I was just having a really hard time getting into a book over the weekend and like settling into it and just like reading it. So that hasn't happened yet. But I will get some reading done. It will happen. I promise. I'm still trying. We're still like have our fingers crossed that I'm gonna hit that 30. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. But we have the best of intentions. I'm not starting. I'm like already 9 pages in to The Night Shift by Alex Finley. So this is the pick of the night. You ready? Bean's ready. Bean's ready to read. Hi, quick reading update. I was reading Night Shift by Alex Finley last night. I'm about halfway through, but I stopped reading that one before I went to bed because I was worried I was going to get scared. Also, I can never remember the title, which I don't know why, because it should remind me of that Lucy Dacus song. You've got the 9 to 5, so I'll take the Night Shift. And I'll never see you again if I can help it. So anyway, then I switched to, I don't know how to pull up the cover, but Waking Olivia, because Chandler Ainsley recommended that, and it is a like college sports romance about this cross-country runner. And it's essentially, if you love the like boy comforts girl while she's having a nightmare trope, that's what this book is. It's just repeated scenes of that. And I'm not mad at it. And I'm finding it like very middling, but I'm enjoying it. Like I'm enjoying it very much, but I definitely don't think it's going to be one I remember once the book closes. And then The Night Shift by Alex Finley. I am like halfway through now, and I realized that Katie Colson read this earlier this year and she hated it. And I'm not finding it super compelling. I'm like halfway through and, again, middling. I also started Book Lovers, again, for my Emily Henry reread last night. I didn't get very far, but that's the reading lineup as it stands on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Okay, just finished Waking Olivia. It was really cute. It was really cute. Is it like excellent literary work? No, it's a KU romance, but it's a good one. It's a good KU romance. I liked it. Had a good time. Was a little confused by the like banquet scene. There's a scene, it takes place like at a banquet, and she's like walking down the hallway, and then like he follows her down the hallway, and then they end up like, you know, having some spicy times, and I was just like confused in the logistics, like they were in a hallway. Anyway, I think they like must have ducked into a room or something. I don't know, it just didn't make sense to me, but that's really not that important. But I did finish it. It was cute. It was cute. It was easy breezy. What more could you ask for? Did I sit here and read it instead of doing anything else? Yeah, because like once I get started on a romance like that, I will finish it in 24 hours. I know it's gonna happen. Like they're all the same. They all have the same plot, but I will sit there and read it nonetheless. Like I'm waiting for the plot twist. I just wanted to give like a quick reading update. I have not been reading much this week. We are not going to make it to 30 books. This is the first time I'm admitting failure. I was like, maybe we'll get back on track. I was like doing well. I thought I was going to finish Waking Olivia and the night shift yesterday, but I haven't finished the night shift yet. I just like it wasn't the vibe. You know, sometimes it's just not the vibe. Still reading Book Lovers, and by still reading I mean I'm on page 6. So doing well with that. Really, if I want to hit 30, what I need to do is just read a bunch of KU romances, and I just don't know if that's the vibe. Although I did really enjoy Waking Olivia. But like most of the stuff I have in KU right now, let's pull up my KU. Probably try to get some. I have like an hour until I need to leave. Probably gonna work on Book Lovers until then. But what's in my library? I have Heartbones by Colleen Hoover. I have Glow, the most recent Plated Prisoner. I have Isabella Maldonado, The Falcon. I like the series about a female FBI agent. She hunts serial killers. There's a book called The Housemate. I have two Mariana Zapata, but if I start those, that's all I'm going to be doing. The new Bridge Kingdom book. Twisted Hate. Terms and Conditions. I'm just like not super excited about anything I have in KU. And I did decide to get a Scribd membership because I wanted to listen to Juniper and Thorn. I was having a hard time getting into it. My fault, not Ava Reads. I was having a hard time getting into it, and I wanted the audiobook so I could like read along. Although Scribd only goes up to 3 times speed. Rude. That's what I need, right? Is more choices. I have 700 books and I'm like, you know what? I need more choices. Okay, it's like very hot out. Also, I don't know how bad the lighting is. I can't really see. It's very dark. But I want to give you a reading update before I go to the library. I'm in like a random parking lot across the street from the library. So I want to give you like a quick reading update and then also do a quick little sneaky peeky of what I'm reading for next time's reading vlog. So it's Friday, July 15th, and I finished another book. I finished Night Shift by Alex Finley. This book, the premise of this is that there were this murder at a Blockbuster. Everyone but one person was killed. Like, there were a bunch of teenagers murdered. And then a similar murder has happened at an ice cream shop, and the girl that survived from the first murder is like now kind of involved in the investigation of the second murder. And we're following her perspective, a lawyer whose brother was like the prime suspect in the first murder, and then like an FBI agent who is like 8 months pregnant with twins. That was one of my biggest problems with this, is she's 8 months pregnant for twins and with twins, and she's like running around town. I'm sorry, 8 months pregnant with twins, you're in a bed. Like, maybe you're not in bed rest, but like, you're tired. I don't think you're FBI agent running around like, literally she's like in gunfights. And, like, I love that for her, but I just don't think that's accurate. And I think the fact that the author is a man, maybe, like, that's a little indicative of that. Because I think there wasn't enough emphasis put on how uncomfortable. Even if she was running around doing those things, I think it would be, like, more of a feat. Like, I think she should be more uncomfortable. And she's just, like, is not uncomfortable at all. She's just, like, living her best life. And the other thing I'm reading, I'm not done with it yet. It's very, very good, though. I'm reading Juniper and Thorn by Ava Read. And every time a car drives past, I panic. This is like a fairy tale, almost horror retelling. It follows these 3 sisters who are all witches, and they're the daughters of the last wizard in Olivia, which is like this Russian village. I think we're, time period wise, I'm not exactly sure where we are. I think it's just when like the czars have been introduced in Russia. I don't know, it's a very interesting time period. The magic system is really interesting, and we're following the youngest daughter in particular, as she kind of like has like a romance with a ballerina, I think is what's going to happen. We haven't actually had any romance, but she has encountered this like ballerina man, and I do think that they're going to have like a romantic encounter, which sounds fun and delightful. I also started a KU book last night because I wanted something I could read on my telephono called Forever Never. It takes place in a like island village in maybe Minnesota, maybe in Alaska. Some are cold, some are very, very snowy. And it seems like, I'm not very far, I'm like 2 chapters in, but it seems like it's gonna be like a second chance romance. And I'm very excited about it. It's also the 15th, which means Summerween just started today. I'm gonna really think about it as starting tomorrow. But I wanted to walk you through some of my Summerween picks. So there's like 3 like book specific prompts for Summerween. And so I'm gonna tell you, and then there's 2 like activity prompts. And then I might read more horror thrillers and throw it in for next vlog. So next vlog will all be Summerween stuff, which is super fun. But I really want to read a lot of women in horror. And I mean, technically this I think is a horror. The sticker here from the library says it's sci-fi fantasy. I think it's a horror. I think she's described it as a horror. Ava Read has. Also, did I mention I just saw Ava Reed, the author of Juniper and Thorn, which I'm absolutely loving, just announced that her next book is going to be a Lady Macbeth. So like a Macbeth retelling, but with a focus on Lady Macbeth. I'm very excited. I think Lady Macbeth is one of the most compelling like Shakespeare ladies, and I'm excited to read that. Okay, anyway, back to Summerween. The first book I'm going to be reading, I'm actually going to be reading a digital version of. I'm going to be reading The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. For the prompt, have the word haunt in the title. I haven't read Haunting of Hill House, which is like such a shame. I watched the TV show, and I actually have comped the TV show for, like, compared my book, just coming out next year, to Haunting of Hill House, the TV show. And I know the TV show is like very different from the book, but I read We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson earlier this summer, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to read that one because I think it's one of her more famous novels. So I'm excited to read The Haunting of Hill House. And then another prompt is a slasher. I had a really hard time finding a slasher written by a lady, and I don't think this really counts, but this is what I'm reading for that prompt. It has a big knife on the cover, so I think it should count. But this is The Violence by Delilah S. Dawson. It's chunky. Why do I keep picking these huge books? This is why I'm not getting to 30. But this is about this like disease that is taking over that makes people like super, super violent. And I think there's a lot of murdering, so we're going to call it a slasher. And then the last prompt is a book with Halloween colors on the cover. And so I think this gives me like very Halloween-y vibes. This is Middle Game by Shauna McGuire. Again, they called it science fiction fantasy, but I've heard it described as horror. I know literally nothing about this book except everyone I've seen talk about it on booktube loves it. So excited to give this one a try. I haven't read anything else by Shauna McGuire. I know she's like a booktube darling, but I haven't read anything by her. So I'm excited to try these out. Like I said, there might be more books coming, but those are the TBR. Those are the planned reads. And I really, really want to focus on like women authors in horror.
Hi, is this terrible lighting? Yeah, absolutely. I just want to give one last update for the weekend. It is Forever and Ever. It is a second chance romance about this town in, I believe, Minnesota that is on this little cute island, and they don't have cars. It's adorable. It's a long romance, but I will finish it because once I like really get rolling into these romances, I have to finish. I read like half of it last night, and I will continue. So that's the update. That's the final update. We're also jumping into Summerween. So I haven't actually started any of my like Summerween reads, even though Summerween started yesterday, but I will be starting some today, and that'll be for the next vlog. So look forward to that next week. And I'm going to flash a little picture that has like all the books I finished so far and where we are in our journey, because we're not very far. We're not doing great. We're trying our best. And that's what counts, right? I guess so. Maybe. Oh, glad my straw was in this whole shot.